Hey guys, Jordan Page from funcheaperfree.com and budgetbootcamp.com here, and I just got back from grocery shopping. I brought all the food out because I needed to put it away anyway, and I thought, you know what? Maybe I'll do a video on this. I want to show you guys that you can make healthy meals, that you're paying way too much for your groceries, and that you can use every drop of what you buy and plan ahead for meals so you don't need to eat out so much and spend so much on groceries. This whole shopping trip, I'll tell you how much it cost in a second, but a lot of what I bought today was thinking ahead to the fact that we're back to school now, and a lot of the things that I bought are for like make ahead meals or meals that can be eaten fresh and then the rest of it frozen for later. I've got some things for make ahead lunches and school lunches. So I thought I'd tell you a little bit about what I paid for everything, how I store it, and most importantly, how I plan to use it. Let me show you. First things first, let me give you a good scan of all the food that I have. I bought everything at Walmart. We were at Super Walmart anyway, getting school supplies, so I picked up my groceries for the week while I was there. So we've got stuff for school lunches, we've got 60 eggs, we've got a bunch of taco stuff, I'll tell you about that. We've got some fresh fruit, apples, cilantro, taco shells, we've got applesauce for lunches and fruit and snacks for lunches. We've got 3 pounds of meat, salad, toppings, tell you about that in a minute. We've got some breakfast stuff. We've got 10 pounds of potatoes. We've got 3 different packages of spinach. We've got 12 ears of corn. We've got a pound of mushrooms. We've got a bunch of canned tomatoes. I'll tell you about that for a minute. Some pickles. 4 bunches of bananas, which sadly will only last us a couple of days because we eat a lot of bananas in our house. 2 bags of tortilla chips. Oh, I forgot about these. We've got all those cans of basically the store version of Rotel. We've got water bottles for lunches, we've got pasta, ramen, and we've got a whole lot of bread over here. So all of this, everything you see, came in just under $200. And in case you don't know, I've got 5 kids, so we are a family of 7. This one grocery shopping trip will last me for 2 weeks, but it will actually last me much longer than that because the meals I'm going to make with it are going to stretch like crazy. Let me go through and talk about each thing and why I bought it. I guess we'll start over here with the bread because maybe I'm carb happy, but this is an insane amount of bread. So let me explain. First of all, in every store, if there's a bakery, there's a discount bakery cart. Bread that needs to be used or freeze within a couple of days goes on sale. So these loaves were only 59 cents, and this one with garlic already on it was just over $1. Anytime I'm at any store, let alone Walmart or whatever, I go to the discount bakery rack and I grab a couple of loaves for 50 cents or maybe $1, and I stick them in my freezer. You can just stick them in just like this in the package, but oftentimes they're not super airtight. Sorry, Beck's playing in the background. So sometimes I will take the loaf of bread and I will wrap it in foil just to give it some extra cushion from freezer burn, and then label it with the date and what it is and stick it in the freezer. And the beauty about bread is, yeah, it does take up a lot of space because it's so big, but it's very thin. So you can usually slide it on top of other things in your freezer. So use bread to eat up space like toward the top, the roof of your freezer, so you use that vertical space. These 3 loaves will go straight in the freezer just for to go with a meal, you know, on a day when I'm in a crunch. I bought some English muffins. They are not the sourdough kind, they're just the normal white kind, because I'm gonna make some freeze ahead little pizzas. So I'll put some sauce on there, some cheese, some pepperoni, and then I don't know, I'll have to experiment on this a little bit, but I'll most likely freeze them for a little while so they're not gushy, and then I'll take each one and I'll individually wrap it in saran wrap probably, and then put them in a freezer Ziploc so that when my kids want a quick meal or a quick snack, I can just take out some of these and nuke them. Same with these little mini bagels. These mini bagels are so cute. What I plan to do with these is to make some make-ahead mini breakfast sandwiches. Oh, and yeah, I'll probably do that with some of these too. So I'll put like some cheese, some egg, maybe some ham, wrap it in foil or in a baggie, and then you've got a quick breakfast sandwich. Or with these bagels, I'll put some ham and some cheese on them, and then I'll freeze them for quick sandwiches for lunches. Same with these sweet Hawaiian rolls. We love Hawaiian rolls in our house, so I will cut them in half. I'll put meat and cheese on there, and I will put them in individual sandwich baggies, and I'll freeze them for quick school lunches or even lunches at home. Another thing is that you can cook chicken in a crock pot. It can just be frozen chicken. That's usually what I do. Chicken breast and then just like a whole bottle of barbecue sauce. Let it cook on low until it's done, shred it up. And then you can put the shredded chicken on these Hawaiian rolls and put a little slice of cheese. Let them cool, wrap them individually and freeze them. And again, makes for a really quick microwave sandwich for a quick lunch. I had the kids help me pick out some bread that was healthy, that they would actually eat. They like it soft. And then I let them get 1 loaf of kid bread, which is basically glorified white bread, though this stuff is not so bad. And then what we'll do with this is we'll make a ton of make-ahead peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. We'll cut them in half. We put them in individual snack bags, and then we freeze them or stick them in the fridge, and then we just pull out one at a time as we need for school lunches. I have a post on freezing peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. No, they don't get soggy. No, they don't taste gross. As long as you do it right, you know, seal the bag and make sure that your freezer doesn't have stinky, nasty stuff in it. They're great. My kids don't notice a difference at all. If you don't have a ton of freezer space, then maybe just do, you know, a half loaf at a time and then just do enough for the week. And I like to do all that prep on Sunday because that's a slower day for us. So then you just have them in your fridge for the week. Truth be told, my kids and husband are not huge veggie eaters. So a few of my go-to veggies are mushrooms and zucchini. Those are some things that have some nutritional value, but you can hide them in anything. If you dice up mushrooms small or shred zucchini, you can hide it in anything, including pancakes. For zucchini, you don't want to put mushrooms in pancakes, but you can put them in any form of casserole, sauce, same with mushrooms. So I like to hide these in a lot of things, or if all else fails, zucchini bread is awesome. My 6-year-old, she like begged me for the asparagus. It wasn't a very good deal, but they like asparagus, so we bought that. I will talk about the salsa in a minute, but I got these jalapenos for the salsa, same with these. Corn, I got 12 ears of corn. They were 25 cents a piece. So at 12 ears, that's only $3, which is not bad at all. And corn is one of those things that I've heard people say that you can freeze the entire ear of corn and you just microwave it and stuff. I've never tried that, but what I will do is I will cook up all 12 of those ears. I usually break them in half because my kids probably won't eat a whole one. So I'll probably break them in half, boil them all, and then I'll just keep them in my fridge to eat throughout the week. But then the ones that we don't eat, you just shave down the corn kernels and freeze the corn. And there you go. We just go through a boatload of bananas. We will probably go through these 4 bunches in the next couple of days. But we were out of town and didn't eat these bananas fast enough, and these are gross. So what I'll do with these is I will make banana bread and banana bread muffins, and I will freeze them for quick breakfasts and snacks throughout the week. And I have my grandma's famous banana bread recipe that has gone viral on Pinterest so many times, I can't even tell you, so I'll link to that below. Trust me, it's so easy. I hate baking, it's foolproof. You need Granny's banana bread recipe. Okay, let's come over here. Ramen, we actually have never had ramen. I basically grew up on the stuff, I love it. But my kids have not had it, but I figure it's cheap and sometimes it's a hearty snack in the winter, has 0 nutritional value, but whatever. Okay, these I bought just because my daughter's favorite meal on the whole planet is the pesto cavatappi at Noodles and Company, and this is the same type of curly hair pasta, she calls it. I have some pesto that's frozen in the freezer, so a really quick easy meal is basically my own version of pesto cavatappi, so I bought some of those. 6-ounce water bottles, which are perfect for kids' lunches. Sometimes I send reusable water bottles with my kids to school, but we've lost many of them. And sometimes in a situation where maybe it's like a field trip or something. Anyway, it's really nice to have kid-sized water bottles around. Perfect for lunches. Costco has the cheapest kid water bottles and water bottles in general, but I wasn't gonna go to Costco this week, so I just bought them at Walmart. So now let's talk about the salsa for a minute, because now we're on to the chips. P.S. These are like the best tortilla chips on the planet, and they're pretty cheap. The reason why I have a bunch of peeled tomatoes, I have some onion, I have jalapeno, and back here I have 12 cans of basically Great Value's version of Rotel. Is because we love salsa at our house, like love it. My husband and I do, my kids don't really care for it. My friend gave me the most delicious, the easiest salsa recipe on the planet, and Bubba said it's the best salsa he's ever had. And it makes a ton. Oh, and cilantro. I got 4 bunches of cilantro. So I'm gonna make like 4 batches of this salsa. I'm gonna freeze it in jars, but not huge jars because it'll go bad before you can finish it. So I'll freeze it in like little jars so that we can just pull out what we need at a time. So that's why I have a lot of that stuff. Got some oatmeal because my kids like oatmeal for breakfast, granola. The reason I got these salad toppers is because I'm really gonna focus on making healthier lunches for myself, because usually, like today's a perfect example. Usually like I'm running out the door and I'll eat a granola bar for breakfast, and then lunch comes and my kids are eating kid food and I'll eat whatever's left over on their plate, and next thing you know, it's like my whole day has been filled with carbs and unhealthy stuff. So I'm really trying to focus on healthier lunches for me. So what we're gonna start doing is doing jar salads. Have you heard of those? You can search them on Pinterest, but basically you put the salad dressing at the bottom, but I'm actually not gonna add the salad dressing at all. I'll just do it at the very end. But you just add all the fixings and leave a little space in a jar, put the dressing on top and shake up the jar, and you have a quick and easy salad. So on Sunday, we'll make up a whole bunch of jars of a certain kind of salad for that week, like a Southwest salad or a strawberry chicken salad or whatever. So I got some little toppings to go with those. So let's talk about all this spinach. Normally I buy spinach by the bag from Costco because it's by far the cheapest, but again, it wasn't worth making the trip all the way out there just for 1 or 2 things. With this spinach, first of all, it goes good with everything. You can put it in salads, you can chop it up and mix it with sauces to make it more substantial and more healthy. But what I plan to do with all this spinach, aside from salad jars, is to make ahead smoothie bags. And then these cucumbers are just, you know, to add to salads and such. And by the way, a tip with a cucumber is the skinnier, the better. The big fat ones don't have as good of a flavor. My grandma taught me that. And then pickles are just to have on hand for sandwiches and hamburgers and things. We were just running low on those. Potatoes, I just always keep potatoes on hand because, I mean, 10 pounds of potatoes is like $2. They are so inexpensive and they're really hearty. They're a good filler. You can make your own French fries or wedge potatoes. Mashed potatoes take like 2 seconds. Baked potatoes, we do our own hash browns. So I always keep potatoes on hand. I don't know if you're supposed to do this or not, but I keep them in the fridge. I've got a little bit of fridge space and a fridge in my basement. And so I just keep them in there and they last literally for months. I don't know if you're supposed to or not, but I do. My kids don't love turkey, but they love ham. So I just bought several things of ham for all of these make-ahead sandwiches I was talking about. And also another thing my kids love to eat for lunches and snacks are meat and cheese roll-ups. You cut a little slice of cheese from a Brit and then you roll it up inside of a piece of ham. And it's really good and it's just protein, so there you go. I normally don't like buying these little prepackaged containers of things because you pay more for that, but for lunches, it's pretty much the way to go. So I bought some of these little apple sauces for the kids' lunches. Same with these little fruit pack. They love those, and then they get to have 1 treat in their lunch. And so they asked if they could have these for their treat. So taco shells, these I just always keep on hand. They're fairly inexpensive, but whenever I use a box, I try to go buy 2 to restock. Tacos and burritos are for real the easiest, most filling dinner ever. You can take like leftovers from a Mexican skillet casserole or whatever and throw it inside a taco shell and there you've got a whole new meal. So I always keep taco shells on hand. But the reason I have 800,000 packages of tortillas, if you see I have 3 packs of 20, is because they're nice and soft. They're the smaller size, and what I'm gonna do with those is, see these eggs here? Every other week we buy between 3 and 5 dozen eggs because we go through a lot of eggs in our house. But what I plan to do with all these is I'm gonna make ahead breakfast casseroles. So I've got the eggs, I've already got cheese. Last time we were at Costco, we bought a big roll of Jimmy Dean's sausage. So we've got 2 of those. And sometime in the next few days, I'm gonna cook up a ton of eggs, I'm gonna cook up all the sausage, and I'm going to make freezer breakfast burritos. So basically you just put a little bit of scrambled egg, a little bit of sausage, a little bit of cheese, you fold in the ends and you roll it up, wrap it in saran wrap, stick it in a freezer bag, put it in the freezer. For the quickest breakfast ever, you just microwave them, Bam, 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 so good. So I'm gonna do those to help us with school mornings. The strawberries are just because we love strawberries, but also for those jarred salads I talked about. I wanna do like a strawberry chicken salad. Also, you know, going along with the whole taco thing, I always try to keep a package of tostadas on hand. Huevos rancheros, if you're a gringo, you sound like that, is a really easy breakfast. It's so good. You pretty much do these tostadas, you smear some refried beans, you do a fried egg, a little bit of salsa. Remember we talked about salsa? You can put some cheese, maybe some black beans, whatever. It's basically like a breakfast taco. So good. And one tostada fills you up for hours. It's so delicious. I like keeping those on hand for quick breakfast there. Again, I hate buying prepackaged stuff, but so these are for school lunches, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make, oh my gosh, can you hear the kids? They're so loud. I'm gonna get my kids to help me, and we're gonna make a giant quadruple batch of our own mini muffins, and then we're gonna freeze them for breakfast and lunch and snacks for soccer or whatever. They are like so good, and you just throw them in their lunch frozen, and then they thaw out by lunchtime. I bought these bags of apples because the actual apples were a lot smaller than the apples that they had loose that were priced per pound, and the price per pound ended up being the same. So I like these because they're a small lunch size. The big apples my kids just really don't finish. I bought some big carrots because I plan to make some make-ahead soups, and then baby carrots are always, my kids love them raw, so they're good in lunches, but also if you throw them in a crock pot with whatever you're cooking, they're just amazing. These little mandarins are perfect for lunches. In fact, we cracked them open in the car and ate a couple on the way home. Oh, and then lastly, I forgot about these. We like string cheese in our lunch, but my daughter begged me for some cheddar cheese to go in our lunch. So string cheese and cheddar cheese, things like this, I will freeze, and then I'll stick them in their lunchbox frozen so that by the time it's lunchtime, they're all thawed out. So there you go, you guys. $200, and this will feed our family for weeks because I plan to stretch the heck out of these. In case you're wondering, yes, I do have a couple of freezers. I've got one in my kitchen, one in my basement. I've got a chest freezer down there. I love freezers. If you have any space in your garage or in a guest room or in a basement, buy one off the classifieds. You will save so much money if you use it wisely. Be sure to subscribe because every Thursday I do a new video. Also, I have a really fun budgeting program called budgetbootcamp.com where I talk all about managing your money, and I help you figure out how much you should be spending on certain things, and I help make budgeting fun. So go to budgetbootcamp.com and use the code YouTube for 10% off. Okay, now if you don't mind, I need to go put these groceries away and I need to start prepping some of this food. So I'll talk to you guys later.